What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow, it's looking peak right now for Sky Sports. Your boy, the YB, can now officially leak to you. Listen, this right is a leaked announcement. Only the YB got this announcement, no doubt, 100% confirmed. Eddie Hearn has signed a 9-figure deal with Dazn to promote boxing in the UK. This is now broken. Eddie Hearn's now deaded off Sky for Dazn. Many of us thought it was half inevitable, but me, given how tight Sky and Hearn have been, I actually believed that maybe a bit of loyalty would keep Eddie Hearn 100 with Sky. Not even a lick of loyalty. Hearn loved the money too much. Eddie Hearn loved that money. He loved the green. Eddie Green Hearn, no doubt. So he sacked Sky off. And like I said, it's peak for Sky. Because back in 2012, yes, Eddie Hearn has worked hard. Yes, Eddie Hearn flung the silver spoon away for a second and has been grinding. That said, back in 2012, yes, boxing was also dead as well. But that either way, Sky had the bread ready. And Sky had the exclusivity deal ready. Let's not forget, Fish Eyes was mad at the exclusivity deal. He said, boom, Eddie Hearn getting all the money. Now, it could be the case that we know that Eddie Hearn took the ball and ran with it. So it could be the case that Fish Eyes, in fact, it's highly likely the case is Fish Eyes is just sour grapes. And he was just mad, big mad that his Box Nation flopped. We don't know. Could Fish Eyes have done a better job or as good a job like he claims he could have if he had the Sky budget? We don't know. Looking how Fish Eyes is doing with his own little ting, with BT now he's got a deal. It's a bit leave it, innit? Truth be known. But Fish Eyes is a bit leave it still. I'm not blaming him because you do, there is an argument that you do kind of need that AJ cat, but it becomes a chicken or the egg. Did Eddie Hearn get lucky with AJ, or did Eddie Hearn create AJ? We've seen Dana White. There's no doubt Dana White creates them. Because without all of his, when all of his big stars have dropped off, the UFC's numbers haven't dropped off, which is next to unheard of in the promotional game, especially these days. Look at Floyd, for example. You got Floyd did massive numbers, he dropped off, and then Al Heyman missing. Not even one bit if anyone can find him. And for a while, PBC were hot. When Mayweather was around, PBC was hot. Mayweather dropped off, PBC gone. And the evidence of that really, or the highlight of that, is the fact that Dazn chose Hearn, who had no base in the US, over Al Heyman, over the US promoters. It showed you the momentum and the belief people had in Eddie Hearn. And I guess at that point in time, Eddie Hearn had the hot product in AJ. If Floyd was still around, it would have been interesting. What would Dazn have gone with? Hearn, the younger, more fruitful Don, or the name in Mayweather? We don't know. Anyway, back to this peakage from Eddie Hearn. Mugging off. In fact, it's not even mugging off. Eddie Hearn has cucked Sky. Yeah? I've received some exclusive leaked footage, and essentially Eddie Hearn has now deaded Sky off, but Skyler feeling bitter, Sky feeling cucked. So like I said, I've received some footage, and you can see Sky in the wardrobe, peeping through the gap in the doors of the wardrobe, trying to get a look at the action. They're trying to get a look at Eddie Hearn. Listen, Eddie Hearn, Dazn, AJ, they on the bed. Yeah? They the main event. Sky, in the corner of the room, in the corner wardrobe, peeping. Yeah? Peeping through that wardrobe door holes. Trying to get a good look at the action. That's how I'm just telling you, man, how Sky got caught lacking. Sky are cucked. No doubt. They in that wardrobe. They peeping. They begging to get a look at the action. Sky used to be the main event. Sky used to be that Don. They used to be that NIGGER. That's what they used to be. Not even a bit of that anymore. That's what we do know. They in the corner hiding. They in the corner peeping. They're peeping Tom. How you going to go from main event? Sky was the main event. Sky was the AJ. Isn't it? Well, it's true though, isn't it? It was Sky and AJ. Now it's AJ, Eddie Hearn, Dazn, and Sky, and they in that wardrobe. They peeping. They in the peephole. they just dreaming of what could have been. 100%. Anyway, let's stop messing around and get serious. I'll read you the article here. Eddie Hearn have struck a deal with Dazn, 9-figure deal. The 5-year contract ends Matchroom's almost decade-long exclusive broadcast relationship with Sky Sports in the UK and strengthens the growing partnership between Hearn and Dazn. It will now see many of Matchroom's premium British and Irish roster, including Callum Smith, Conor Benn, Katie Taylor and Lawrence Okoli, added to Dazn's blockbuster, cheek-busting schedule. Hearn previously held an exclusive UK and Ireland deal with Sky Sports since 2012 and last year signed a 6-year contract with the broadcaster in 2015, showcasing 120 fights a year. Now, the reason it's peaked for Sky is obviously Sky believed in Eddie enough to give him an exclusive deal. Eddie has not repaid the favour. At that point in 2012, Sky was the commodity. They had the value. If that makes sense. Sky could have said to Eddie Hearn, listen, we're going to give you a piece, we're going to give every little promoter a piece and play you off against each other. Instead, Sky committed to Eddie Hearn. Now, in 2021, when the tables have turned, Eddie Hearn has more of the power. Eddie Hearn was the guy who had several options. He has not repaid the favour. He could have said, Sky, in 2012, when I was a nobody, and you had other options, you kept it 100 with me. So I'm going to repay the favour. Now I'm hot property and people want me, I'm going to keep with you. He ain't do that. And it's, in a way, it's good to see the little man get his get back. Not that Eddie Hearn's a little man, but these big conglomerate dons, they don't care. They ain't interested in no laws. We know how they play when it comes to copyright and whatnot. Even though things are illegal, they don't allow it because they're the big wigs. So I'm glad to see someone get over on them, if the truth be known. Not that it's going to hurt them, they couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying? That Sky Don, whatever his name is, the old one, Robert, is it Rob? I don't know. That old Don, crinkle-looking Don, Mr. Burns from Simpsons-looking Don. He ain't Murdoch, that's it. Murdoch. Mr. Burns. Rupert Burns. He ain't going to be feeling it. He's still living that billionaire lifestyle with his young Chinese wife or whatever it is, the fighting. No doubt. He fine. That said, it's still a W, relatively speaking. Eddie Hearn 1, Cabal 0. Anyway, it's going to be interesting because I'm not sure where AJ goes from here, especially immediately speaking, as it pertains to AJ and Fury. I mean, maybe half the reason this thing's been dragging on, Eddie been trying to do some deep structure thing. Because let's not forget, this fight was supposed to land in June, was it not? It was supposed to land in June, which, without a doubt, if this new DAZN thing don't start until July 1st, if the Fury and AJ fight was in June, that's a wrap. That's a wrap, i.e. all on Sky. I'm not sure, of course, but you man know, before this information came available to the YB, I've already been questioning, why has this thing been taking so long? Eddie Hearn don't normally mess about. 4 or 5 months to do 2 weeks work? And even AJ himself back in December said 2 weeks. And he's an insider. He's the most insider. He's all the insider. And he weren't saying, oh, well, you know, it might take 6 months, given that he just booked Pulev. So is it a possibility Eddie Hearn slyly has dragged this out so that now we're looking at a July date or post-July 1st date, which means it's opened up to DAZN? I don't know. I'm not sure whether the July 1st date means all deals done before July 1st are on Sky, or it means, you know what I mean? I just don't know the specifics of it. But it is interesting, and I tell you this for free. If it ends up being that Sky get the, or don't, if it ends up being Sky don't get the AJ fight, AJ and Fury fight, I'm going to be sure Eddie Hearn set it up that way. I'm going to be sure that's why it's taken so long. Not that Eddie Hearn's purpose, well, I think maybe he has. Maybe he has purposefully been real slow about it, because come on, 5 months, and you're only just talking with the venues. I just don't believe it. I don't care about, I mean, the regulations thing, and oh, the C19 thing is a great fallback, a great way to mug Sky off. But listen, you can't listen. Whatever Sky are, they ain't 190 IQ like the YB. You might have been able to pull the wool over their eyes. Not even a bit of wool has gone over the YB's eyes, no doubt. So if it does fall with Dazn, we know Eddie Hearn is thinking he's playing 10D chess. Eddie Hearn's playing on 6 chessboards at once, one of them ones. Yeah, no doubt. But either way, from a fan's point of view, we couldn't give 2 Fs. I couldn't care, not even a bit less. Makes not a scrap of difference to us. And if anything, it will just increase the competition. It'll make things interesting because Sky will have a massive budget and they're going to have no fighters. Fish Eyes is locked up with BT. Eddie Hearn's locked up with Dazn. They may even withdraw, to be fair. Unless they're going to get some dead shows on. Like, what's that Don called? Sniff? Cali Sowler, whatever his name is. What, they're going to get Chris Eubank on? Are you joking? Surely not. Surely Sky ain't going to go back to Chris Eubank versus some bums. I think they'll be better off pulling a HBO and just saying we're withdrawing it for the near future. Or we are withdrawing. Yeah, in the near future, or for the immediate future, I don't know what I'm saying. End of the day, at this point in time, there's no fighters about, so we're withdrawing until the environment changes. Because it's all well and good saying, oh well, Sky can have a big budget to compete with. Compete with what though? Where? It's not like there's a whole bag of man who are free agents. And to be honest, there's not a bag of man full stop, is there? Free agents or booked agents. Really, you got AJ and a few man, AJ, Dilly and White. Well, they ain't going nowhere from Eddie Hearn, are they? Which leaves you what? What have you got? Unless Sky, again, invest in someone like Cali Sniff. They might bring Cali Sniff in and then tell him to start bringing up the youngers, like Eddie Hearn did. Sky have well and truly been played here, I'm thinking now. I'm not sure how the contracting works, but could they have not locked Eddie Hearn in for longer? Well, I don't know, but maybe they have not got a piece of the pie, got a piece of the youngers, because Sky spent a lot of money. Well, I guess it's give and take. Yes, they've invested money, but also they've got money back. All I'm saying is, whatever money they've invested, their investment gone. Innit? Buatsi and whatnot, they're gone. So, it's looking peak for Sky right now. Truly peak. Anyway, before I go, let's speculate on why Hearn is left. It says here, money and a sturdy relationship with Dazn are the key reasons Hearn's leaving. When Hearn linked up with Dazn in 2018, with a war chest to spend on the US market, it was always believed he would eventually be exclusive with the streaming service in the UK too. And now, with his Sky Sports deal set to expire imminently, Hearn has significantly increased his budget to spend on rights to fights in the UK. The cost, of course, is exposure. Sky Sports is an established paid TV broadcasting powerhouse, while Dazn is a streaming platform. Yeah, it's interesting. Thinking about it now, it's all well and good going to Dazn for people like AJ and whatnot. But outside of AJ, Buatsi, for example, you best hope AJ stays along. Or we best hope AJ stays around for a minute, because if he goes, and for example, let's say for argument's sake, AJ retired a year from now. Not likely, but let's just put it out there. AJ retires a year from now, and all Eddie Hearn's got then is Buatsi and whatnot. Good luck. What do you think people are going to clamber onto Dazn for Buatsi at this point in time? No disrespect, I'm just saying. What do you think? I don't think so. That said, AJ retiring in a year isn't likely. They are going to have, thankfully for Dazn, they've done it just at about the right time. Got another 4 years of AJ, 4 or 5 years of AJ, which should allow a good crop of youth to come through if they're there. Then again, look around at the place. There's a whole bag of man getting washed. Josh Kelly. Guess we've got Conor Ben, maybe, but we don't know too many unproven dons. But we've got 5 years. Will Eddie Hearn be able to recreate the AJ magic? I'm not sure yet. And that's in a way where we have to give fair play to Dana White for what he's done with her. what he's done with WWE 2.0. I mean, obviously, in 2021, it's become apparent that the Jake Paul's about to expose the whole of UFC as a as a WWE 2.0. But before JP came along, UFC was considered serious, wasn't it? And not only that, Dana White did a good job suckering the fans, thinking that they were special fighters, thinking they was decent. Obviously now we learn that JP, a YouTuber Don, can do 2 years of training and run through the whole roster, no problem, with one shot. But apart from that, fair play to Dana. In fact, even more fair play. If it now becomes apparent that UFC fighters ain't no good, and they're all failed boxers, it means that Dana's done an even better job than we first thought. He's been able to turn SHIT into gold, literally. No doubt. Can Eddie Hearn do the same? That's the question. And he should be able to. It's been done. But Dana's set the blueprint. Whatever that blueprint is, he's done it. Dana White, I was surprised. He let Conor McGregor go. I thought, no way. The UFC's done for. Ronda Rousey left. UFC's done for. But somehow, Dana's able to do it. It's really, I'm not sure what it is. Probably, to be fair, it's probably the cabal, if the truth be known. When things don't make sense, you know what it'd be, I'll go with the cabal. Cabal probably playing, fixing with the numbers or something. Because that don't make no sense, does it? You don't make no sense. You got, who was it? Some random Don, like Usman versus someone did 1 million pay-per-views. I thought, no way. There's 2 random Dons. Jorge Masvidal and then Usman did 1 million or something like that. Didn't make no sense. So I don't know. Listen. Eddie Hearn cucked Sky. Sky have been cucked. And this is only good for fans. It ain't bad for fans, that's for sure. And also it means, in terms of the pricing, we'll be able to get a month of boxing for the price of 1 fight. It's not as good as the US deal. The US have gone from paying $100 to paying $20. We're only paying $20 anyway, but we get a full month for that price. Although, Sky, I believe you got the fight nights on Sky anyway. But then again, I think people are paying 60 quid a month for Sky, aren't they? It's ridiculous. So either way, for boxing fans specifically, if you're a boxing fan and not into everything else, Sky and F1 and whatever else, then yeah, you're nice right now.